Have you ever wondered what happens to celebrities when they're just not famous anymore? While some of their careers just run out of momentum, others have screeched to a halt thanks to scandals and bad press. After being brought back to normality, many of your famous former stars have taken surprising career changes. From cooking, preaching, sweeping up hair, or even street busking. Let's take a look at how some celebrities survived after their careers were over. Louis C.K. At his peak, six-time Emmy Award-winning comedian, writer, and filmmaker Louis C.K. was selling out Madison Square Gardens and making regular appearances on late-night talk shows. He also appeared repeatedly on Forbes' list of highest-paid comedians, and even earned $52 million in the year leading up to June 2017. It seemed like life couldn't get any better for the hotshot comedian. But for lack of an explanation that would otherwise get this video demonetized, Louis couldn't keep it in his pants. In the wake of the #MeToo movement, a hideous scandal dashed his career into the dirt almost overnight. His second comedy special with Netflix, part of a deal worth $35 million, was immediately cancelled. HBO cut all ties with him, and his upcoming projects were terminated. Since then, his face, thankfully, hasn't been seen on any major screen. So what's a publicly shamed comic to do when he's fallen so far from grace? Well, he's back doing one of the only things he knows how, stand-up comedy. But definitely not for the prices he used to charge. In North Carolina, back in 2019, tickets for his show, worth $49.50, were being sold online for just $9 due to lack of demand. In fact, one reporter from the LA Times managed to get a ticket for just $4. But even then, some of his shows, like the one in San Jose, were protested by locals. Somehow, it's hard to see the funny side of this attempted career comeback. While he might not be entertaining anymore, I think you'll find that I certainly am. So why don't you hit that like and subscribe button? I put out new content every day to amuse the masses with amazing facts and unbelievable stories. And all with my pants on. Now let's get on with the show. Mara Wilson. It's not often that you recognize someone from their childhood photos, but that's how most people remember Mara Wilson. This American child actress rose to fame in the early 90s after starring in films such as Mrs. Doubtfire, Miracle on 34th Street, and Matilda. And if you don't recognize any of those iconic films, there's a good chance it's past your bedtime. If that's the case, it's not such a bad thing. If you're anything like me, it'll hurt you to learn that all those films are now almost 30 years old. However, Wilson's adorable face wasn't enough to help her become a fully fledged actress, and she quit film at the age of just 13. While many outlets state that she was just weighing up her career options, others report that the toxic pressures of the image-obsessed industry drove her into early retirement. Not being pretty enough cost her castings and callbacks. She even considered getting plastic surgery. But instead of going under the knife, Wilson used her experiences to become a full-time writer, penning the screenplay of Sheeple as well as her own memoirs in a book called Where Am I Now? She's also worked for McSweeney's, The Toast, The Daily Beast, and even Cracked.com, producing blog and opinion pieces. Although she steered clear of most acting roles, she did lend her voice to an anthropomorphic spider in Netflix's BoJack Horseman in 2016. You could say that cameo really had legs. Diamond Dallas Page. Professional wrestling fans around the world should know that the careers of these big, bulky fighters are usually cut short by horrendous injuries. But multiple-time World Heavyweight Champion Diamond Dallas Page managed to wrestle a brand new career out of his life-changing injuries. In 1998, he ruptured several discs in his spine and was told by doctors he would never wrestle again. But instead of giving up, Dallas took up yoga to help heal his body. Regaining flexibility and mobility, Dallas took his yoga one step further and developed a process called dynamic resistance that added intensity to the training. Figuring he could make some serious bank on his